call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got them in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you, I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you have. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio begins now.
Welcome into Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio. The Grace Prep Lions paying a visit to Cat Horton Field here in North Richland Hills. A gorgeous night for baseball. And the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals stepping outside of district play, but stepping in to competition against a team that they met just 1 year ago in the playoffs. I'm Will Connerly, happy to be with you tonight. Tim Polster alongside us as well. Grace Prep coming in 11-4-1 on the year. Fort Worth Christian, they've continued to play at a high level. They're 18-4-1 on the season. Grace Prep in their district play so far, a 3-0 start in TAPS Division II District 2. Meanwhile, for Fort Worth Christian, they've continued to play well in TAPS D2 District 1. They're 3-1 within district play, tied with Southwest Christian, a team they split against last week for second in the district, trailing just the Lubbock Trinity Christian Lions, who the Cardinals will pay a visit to next week, and we'll be happy to bring you those games live on Tradio, making the trip to Lubbock. But first, you've got a game against Grace Prep tonight outside of district play, and then for the Cardinals, they'll play Coram Deo Academy. The Lions up in Flower Mound a couple times this week, one at home, one on the road. We'll have one of those two broadcasts. The game at Cat Horton Field we'll have for you here on Tradio, but not the contest coming up on Friday evening. But what we will have for you is we'll touch on this Fort Worth Christian lineup. Let's take a deeper dive at the first four hitters in this order. It's been pretty much the same the entire season for Rusty Greer, and is started with Griffin Carney. Griffin Carney's getting on base about 48% of the time. He has 21 stolen bases on the year and 31 runs scored. He's drawn 8 walks. He's been a great table setter, and he has helped the next man in the order, Grady Emerson. hit with such great confidence, but also hit with guys on base, hitting .483 on the year, 19 stolen bases, OPS off the charts of almost 1,500. He's driven in 26, nearly leading the team in every category, and not to mention he's been on base in every single game, so that really sets up the three-hill Braylon James to be hitting with a lot of guys on. He's got a lot of speed as well. He has come up in the clutch. We've had the pleasure of talking to him twice on our Cardinal Baseball Live post-game interviews with our player of the game, showing he has performed well here at Cat Corton Field. 17 swiped bags. He scored 10 runs, and he's got a nice 42% OBP, drawing 13 walks, but an on-base clip of .420. And it sets up for Jackson Castleberry, the cleanup man, the last man we highlight in the first four in this order. Castleberry, a .333 average, and stay tuned for later on in the pregame show when we talk to head coach Rusty Greer. He had a lot of great things to say about Jackson Castleberry, especially considering his big moment against Southwest Christian in extra innings with a 2 RBI double to give the Cardinals the lead. But he has had a great season. A little injury to begin the year, but he's mainly been the cleanup man all year long. Those have been the first four hitters all year long for Fort Worth Christian, and those are the first four guys we highlight off of the top tonight for the Cardinals. To set things up between Grace Prep and Fort Worth Christian, we'll have a couple Cardinal Connection interviews. You'll get accustomed and get to know a couple of our Cardinals a little bit more, and you'll also hear from the head coach Rusty Greer. We'll take a look around the district as well and continue to preview this matchup here on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio.
Fort Worth Christian School is Christ-centered, college preparatory school where every student is known, loved, and valued. At FWC, students are challenged to pursue excellence in the classroom, in competition, and in their faith, all while being equipped with a strong biblical worldview. From standout academics and championship athletics to award-winning fine arts and a vibrant student community, Fort Worth Christian is preparing tomorrow's leaders today. We invite you to discover the difference for your family. Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining the game with us today. We hope you are enjoying this presentation of Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. We have a target of 20,000 channel subscribers before the end of the spring. We need your help to reach that goal. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and pick a friend or family member to whom you can share the game. We are happy you are watching and hope you consider becoming a member for access to different member-only content.
Hello, I'm Logan Scott, and welcome to Cardinal Connections. Today I'm here with Gregory Smets. Gregory, to those who don't know you, please introduce yourself, man.
I'm Gregory Smeds. I'm a left-handed pitcher for Fort Worth Christian.
All right. Gregory, in your opinion, what's your best pitch?
Probably my changeup when it's on.
All right. Would you rather win the state title this year or have your team win the World Series?
I think that I'd rather have our team win the state title.
All right. If you could face any player you want in an AB, who would you pick and why?
Probably Paul Skeens, just because.
You want to face
I would like to watch him pitch, and then, I'm a PO, so that'd be fun just to see what it looks like in the box.
All right, and if you were going to pitch against somebody else?
Probably Bobby Witt Jr. He's kind of the best in the game right now,
All
so.
Right. Local kid, too?
Yeah,
All
local guy.
And then what's your favorite baseball memory, either as a player or as a fan?
I really enjoyed our Faith baseball series last year. Both games went into extra innings, and we ended up winning one of the games to secure a spot in the playoffs.
All right. Well, Gregory, thanks for your time, man. This is Logan Scott. Keep watching Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio, and keep watching for more Cardinal Connections. Hello, I'm Logan Scott, and welcome to Cardinal Connections. Today I'm here with Hunter Hampton. Hunter, to those who don't know you, please introduce yourself.
I'm Hunter Hampton, freshman, class of 2029.
All right. Hunter, do you have any crazy superstitions on game day?
I wouldn't say anything too crazy. I like to drink a protein shake before every game, but that's about it.
What type of protein shake?
Core Life.
Flavored?
Chocolate.
Right choice right there.
That's right.
In your opinion, what makes the perfect glove?
I'd say just nothing too crazy. Just red, black, and something that fits perfect on your hand.
All right, are you the type of guy to order a glove off eBay if you
No,
have the shots?
absolutely
All right.
not.
What's your favorite cleat that you wear?
New Balance.
All right. Type or color or?
It's just a black with white outline. Nothing fancy.
All right. And then who on the team is the last guy to get the aux cord?
Hank Austin.
Oh my God.
He's absolutely horrendous on the aux.
All right, Hunter. Thanks for your time, man. This is Logan Scott. Keep watching Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio, and keep watching for more Cardinal connections.
Some of our Cardinal connections. We'll continue that here from Rusty Greer in a moment. But as the two head coaches are meeting for the ground rules, Clay Harris and Rusty Greer, the two head coaches for Grace Prep and Fort Worth Christian. We'll look at the district standings here for a moment for the Cardinals. When we look within the district right now, Lubbock Trinity Christian off to a 4-0 start. That's where the Cardinals will be next week, but they have a pair of games with Flower Mound Coram Deo Academy taking on another Lions squad. So they play the Lions tonight. They'll play them twice on Thursday and Friday. They'll also play them a couple of times next week for those games we'll have for you here on Tradio in Lubbock. But D2 District 1, when we look at those standings now, it's going to be a fight for the top of the district, it looks like, between Fort Worth Christian, Southwest Christian, the reigning champion from a year ago, and Lubbock Trinity. And Fort Worth Christian, by virtue of their last season's finish, able to get out of their district as the third best team in Division 1, District 1 here in this matchup. They'll have that opportunity to then go up potentially against Grace Prep as they did in the playoffs last year to see how those things shake out. But we'll continue our interviews and step aside on the pregame show. It's Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. We're back with you on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio, joined alongside head coach Rusty Greer. Coach, a couple weeks into district play, we look back at last week before talking about tonight. Your team splits in district action, the road team winning each time. What's your main takeaway from those two games?
Well, I think on Thursday night, playing there at Southwest Christian, I thought we did a great job of playing for 10 innings. And we finished the game as we always talk about. I thought we played well defensively. I thought we pitched well. And I think we had a timely hit or two right when we needed it. I always tell our team that in tight ball games, which team blinks first, and we blinked a couple times and they blinked a couple times, and we wound up coming out on top. And then on Friday night, we got off to a rough start. Got put in the hole early, which has an effect throughout the course of the ball game. We did what we could, but being down that much early, it was tough against a quality team like Southwest Christian. But we'll come back and see what we can do this week, and we've corrected a few things, and we'll move forward.
So it was a 5-2 win Thursday in extra innings, 8-4 loss on Friday. And you mentioned clutch, and I want to highlight that Friday game for a moment. Jackson Castleberry, he comes through with that 2 RBI extra base hit in extra innings. How good was it to see him not only hit the ball hard, but do it in such a clutch spot?
Well, I think the big thing is that he struggled a little bit during that game, punched out a couple times. Had some opportunities, but didn't get it done. And what I try to tell them is that one at bat can change not only your day as an individual, but our day as a team. And he stuck with it, kept grinding, kept battling, and got his chance. And in that situation, it changed his day and our day with that one swing. And so now the prior 3 or 4 bats are forgotten. And with a big knock like that, that lifts everybody, gives us energy. And I was just proud of him for not going in the hole after his first 2 or 3 at bats. So putting those behind him and focusing on that one at bat in that clutch situation.
And then speaking of clutch as well, it's hard to not bring up Ben Rodriguez as well, what he did out of the bullpen. He'd been mainly used for 1 out, 2 out, maybe an inning situation, but he goes a couple of innings in that matchup, and man, he's continued to be nails out of the pen, ultimately picks up the victory, but they have a couple of runners in scoring position. He comes through with a big punch out. What can you say about Ben Rodriguez?
Well, I told him early on he was going to be used in a manner of, in big situations, coming in, getting out. So he's got a little different arm angle. Doesn't have a ton of velocity, but the thing about Ben is he throws the ball over the plate. And when you throw the ball over the plate, you make them get hits. And if you give me somebody that throws the ball over the plate, I'll run them out there as much as I can, just because that gives our defense a chance to work. And he's been valuable for us and in those situations. And I like his confidence on the mound. I like the way, as I said, he throws it over the plate, but he continues to get outs, and that's what we're after.
And also in that game, hard to not bring up a 3-for-3 effort with a pair of home runs for Grady Emerson. I know that the headlines are there. You've been asked a lot about him by a lot of different media outlets throughout the year. But for those listening to this right now, we know how good he is. We can look at the numbers and see. But from your perspective, what is it that just makes him so elite at the plate to be able to do what he did, like on Friday night with a pair of home runs and a double as well?
Well, he can hit. Number one, he puts the bat on the ball. His stroke it's a classic left-handed stroke. But I think the big thing he does is he controls the strike zone. He doesn't swing at a lot of bad pitches. He has an understanding of what he's trying to do at the plate. And that's an elevated approach or elevated maturity for a high school hitter. A lot of times is he understands situations. He understands when to go after pitches and when not to, when to take those calculated gambles, as we say. But he does a good job of controlling that strike zone and understanding that if I can get in a plus count, then I've got a better chance to put a good swing on the ball. And so if he continues to do that, he'll be fine.
And for your team as well tonight, Grace Prep, what's the message? What do you know about them?
Grace Prep, they're a good team. I think they're 11-4. We played them in the playoffs last year. We beat them in the playoffs. They'll be well coached by Clay Harris, and they'll come to play. And we can't just throw a hat on the field and expect to win. We're going to have to go out and execute and throw the ball over the plate and let our defense play. And if we do that, I'm comfortable with our offense and swinging the bats. We're pretty explosive from time to time, and I feel like we have a pretty good chance to win tonight.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to join us, and best of luck tonight. We'll talk to you again on Thursday.
All right, thank you, Will.
Fort Worth Christian School is Christ-centered, college preparatory school where every student is known, loved, and valued. At FWC, students are challenged to pursue excellence in the classroom, in competition, and in their faith, all while being equipped with a strong biblical worldview. From standout academics and championship athletics to award-winning fine arts and a vibrant student community, Fort Worth Christian is preparing tomorrow's leaders today. We invite you to discover the difference for your family. Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining the game with us today. We hope you are enjoying this presentation of Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. We have a target of 20,000 channel subscribers before the end of the spring. We need your help to reach that goal. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and pick a friend or family member to whom you can share the game. We are happy you are watching and hope you consider becoming a member for access to different member-only content.
About to get underway here from Keck Horton Field. It's Andrew Ridgel getting the start tonight for Rusty Greer's squad going up against the Lions of Grace Prep. Cardinals and Lions set to square off non-district action here this evening from Keck Horton Field with two teams that met. It was a nail-biter in the playoffs 1 year ago, a 2-1 victory for Fort Worth Christian as these two districts are paired up in the first round, District 1 and District 2 in Division 2 of TAPS. Andrew Ridgel, a 3.93 ERA on the year through 10 2/3, 8 strikeouts, a whip about 1.5, getting the start here this evening. We've seen how good he has been with the bat as of late. Will not be hitting for himself tonight, but getting the start for the Cardinals. Griffin Carney playing second, Grady Emerson at short, Harry Alsup, the catcher, working with the right-hander tonight, Antonio Andujar at first base, and Jake Parkerson as the DH, with Braylon James in center, Jackson Purdue in left, and Jackson Castleberry out in right field for the Cardinals. So that's how they look defensively behind Andrew Ridgel. And we're set for baseball coming up here in just a moment. Grace Prep off to such a great start this year. 11-4-1 are the Lions, and they currently sit atop their district standings. District 2, Fort Worth Christian District 1. And that was the pairing last year after the Lions finished second and the Cardinals finished third in the first matchup of the playoffs. And the Cardinals won a 2-1 neutral site game before going on to take on Southwest Christian, who ultimately eliminated the Cardinals from the playoffs a year ago on their run to the Final Four. So Ridgel begins his outing, firing a ball. Banks Harris leads things off for the Lions. And 1 ball, 1 strike after it's fouled back. Harris, just a sophomore, atop this order. He watches up top. But he has been fantastic with the bat in his hands this year. A .512 batting average, 22 hits and 43 at-bats. And he grounds it to Emerson across the diamond for out 1.
The shortstop, number 12, Blair Walker.
The first two missed outside the zone to the junior shortstop, Blair Walker. Ridgel pounds the zone, 2-1 count. Walker, a .286 hitter on the year, has a pair of doubles along with a triple, 7 driven in. And he fouls it back. Hit .311 in his sophomore campaign. Big part of the Lions' offensive efforts once again here this season. He was a second-team All-District selection a year ago. Grounds it right at Griffin Carney. And it's on to first in time. 2 outs.
The catcher, number 9, Bear Graves.
Another look at the defensive alignment as well for Fort Worth Christian. It's Jackson Purdue getting the start in left. James is always in center, Castleberry in right. McDonald and Emerson on the left side of the infield. Carney and Andujar. On the right side, Andrew Ridgel, the starter, looking for a 1-2-3, top of the first inning. Working with Harry Alsup behind the plate. As Bear Graves digs into the box. That's called a strike, a 1-1 count. Here to Graves. has showcased the most pop on this team. It misses high. Out of the 3-hole in the lineup, has accounted for half of the team's home run production, has 2 of the 4 Lions home runs on the year, entering in with an 11-4-1 record. Off to a 3-0 start in district action, and then misses outside. 3 balls and a strike the count.
What's going on?
Graves, the junior catcher, though, 2 home runs along with 2 doubles, has driven in a team best 16 runs, now hits with a 3-1 count. And he pulls it foul. So 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Get right here, come on.
Here to Bear Graves. He was a second-team All-District selection in his sophomore campaign, hit .265. Has seen that mark jump up to .395 at his batting average this year. So far, with 4 extra base hits, a full count offering coming up from Ridgel. And that's grounded there to McDonald. The Cardinals infield doing the job in the top of the first. A ground ball to short, second and third retires the side in order. No score after a half inning.
They call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights. In the bright lights. Come on. It's yours tonight. Come on, you'll see. This time it's you and me. Come on, let it go. It's just a little rock and roll. Let me hear you one more time. I can see that look in your eye. Everything you want and more. It's about time. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the big time. Can you feel those bright lights? Everything is yours tonight. It's on tonight. The big time. In the big time. In the big time. Wild, wild, wild in the USA. We're getting wild, wild, wild the American way. Wild, wild, wild in the USA. We're getting wild, wild, wild the American way. Wild, wild, wild in the USA.
Leading on the Cardinals, 7-0, Griffin Carney.
Welcome back here in the bottom of the first inning. Griffin Carney to lead things off for the Cardinals. Jackson Bryson, the starter for the Lions. And the sophomore right-hander's first pitch misses low to Griffin Carney. Been an on-base merchant for the Cardinals here this season. Carney, 24 hits, 67 at-bats, a .358 batting average on the year. Getting on base over 48% of the time, hits with a 2-0 count. As Bryson delivers the 2-0, it is up and out. So 3 balls, no strikes. Here to Griffin Carney. And we mentioned it off the top with Griffin Carney, but always a point of conversation when he's potentially going to get on base is his ability to run the base path so well. Leads the team with 21 stolen bases. It's only been caught 4 times, one of those times last week, and he turned it into a 3-for-4 effort with 3 doubles on the day. And now hits with a 3-0 count as the first 3
maybe yours
by Bryson miss outside the zone here to Carney. The 3-0, and it's a 4-pitch walk drawn by Griffin Carney to begin the bottom of the first inning.
The shortstop, number 2, Grady Emerson.
Well, that'll bring up Grady Emerson.
Go, G.
He's got the speed, like Carney mentioned. He's really got all 5 tools. Saw him really demolish the baseball twice last week, a pair of home runs in the same game against Southwest Christian. And you watch as the first up and out. In that same game, he also doubled and the ball went over the fence. So went 3 for 3 with 10 total bases in that phenomenal effort. And Grady Emerson, after watching the first one go upstairs, Lions want to take a visit to talk with the sophomore right-hander Jackson Bryson. As Emerson hits with a 1-0 count. And hitting, well, that's what Emerson's been doing quite a bit this season. A .483 average OPS, just shy of 1,500. Riding an 8-game hit streak into tonight's effort. Big reason why the Cardinals have got off to an 18-4-1 start here this season. Grady Emerson hits in 8 consecutive games. More impressively, he's been aboard in all 23 games this season for the Cardinals, a 1-0 count. And he watches down, 2 balls, no strikes.
Go, Deuce.
And the 2-0. In for a strike, but it's Griffin Carney who slides into second safely. Bear Graves with a good throw down to second to make it close, but unable to catch the speedy Griffin Carney. And Carney swipes his team-leading 22nd bag of the year, just shy of 1 per game now in scoring position for Grady Emerson with a 2-1 count. And Emerson watches low and inside, speaking with head coach Rusty Greer. Leading up to this one thing he said about Emerson is just his approach at the plate is so advanced, has a great feel for the strike zone. That's evidenced by all the walks he's drawn this year. He's drawn 24 walks in 23 games while still hitting .483, and it's helped his on-base percentage be well above 600. The 3-1. Emerson smokes it up the middle. And Griffin Carney will be waved home. Grady Emerson has an RBI single. The Cardinals go up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Carney walks, Emerson drives him in, and Fort Worth Christian taking an early 1-0 lead.
The center fielder, number 17, Braylon James.
So it extends Emerson's hit streak to 9 games. He's now been on base in 24 consecutive games to begin the year, as he rips the 2-1 pitch right up the middle. It allows the speedy Griffin Carney, who stole second, to come home. It's Emerson's team-leading 27th run driven in of the year. And he stands at first, a threat to steal as well. As Braylon James comes up to the plate and calls the first for a strike. Emerson, speed at first. He's got 19 stolen bases on the year. Hasn't been caught once as he gets back in time. An 0-1 count here to Braylon James. And a throw over, gets behind the first baseman, Colt Howard. Emerson will take second, rounding, going for third as well, and he slides in safely. A couple of extra bags taken by Grady Emerson on the overthrow on the pickoff attempt. And now a runner at third with nobody out for Braylon James, hitting with an 0-1 count. Took the check, but just out of the reach of Howard, and a two-base error that allows Emerson to get to third. 0-1 count here to James. And he watches up top. James been swinging the stick well as of late. Hits in 7 of his last 8 games, rising his batting average to .288 on the year. OBP of about .420. A chance for an RBI. And a foul ball. A 1-2 count. James had a pair of RBIs, went 1 for 4 against Southwest Christian.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Last Friday, the Cardinals splitting that series. Now tied for second in the district with them.
Hey-o.
That sails to the backstop, right back to the catcher Graves, keeping Emerson put at third base. As Bryson comes set, the 2-2 here to Braylon James. Misses high, runs the count full. A year ago as a freshman, Bryson, he had 8 at-bats, hit 125, went 1 for 8 at the plate, but on the hill didn't have a ton of work, just made 1 appearance. This is his 7th appearance of the year. He misses high to Braylon James, so that puts runners on the corners with nobody out for Jackson Castleberry. So the first 3 have reached here in the bottom of the first inning, and Jackson Castleberry with an opportunity. Bryson on the year, this his 7th appearance. He's worked 10 innings on the year coming into tonight with 20 strikeouts, but 18 free passes in those 10 innings of work. A lot of strikeouts, but also his fair share of walks in his first 6 appearances, and he's walked a pair here in the bottom of the first. A 1-0 lead for the Cardinals as he gets ahead of Jackson Castleberry. That misses high, so you obviously can tell that the sophomore right-hander has some fantastic stuff with the 20 punch-outs in 10 innings. It's just been the free passes that have hurt his cause during his first few outings of the year. Had only allowed 4 hits on the year through 6 appearances as Castleberry fouls it away. With James running, he'll have to retreat to first base.
Go once. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Castleberry fouls it away to keep the count at 1-2 strikes. So James at first, Emerson at third, Castleberry at the plate. Cardinals taking a 1-0 lead on a Grady Emerson RBI single up the middle. And Castleberry sees that one go low, allows James to easily take second with no throw as it scoots to the backstop to even the count at 2-2 strikes. Jackson Castleberry, .333 on the year with his batting average. 14 hits and 42 at-bats, OPS above 900. He's got 3 doubles along with a home run, 11 driven in on the year. And has 2 in scoring position now. And that one sails to the backstop as well. So that runs the count full. 3-2 strikes. Cardinals already with 1 across and a chance for a couple of more.
Make it be yours.
With 2 in scoring position for the cleanup man in a battle between 2 teams that met in the playoffs a year ago. Was a 2-1 final score. Cardinals ace Greg Smeds in that matchup ended up throwing 80 pitches. Great effort for the Cardinals to pick up that 2-1 victory and advance to the postseason. The 3-2 pitch. And Castleberry fouls it away.
What a fight.
But again, non-district action here tonight between the Lions and the Cardinals. Both teams stepping outside district play. Coram Deo up next in district action for the Cardinals Thursday and Friday. Castleberry hitting with 3-2 strikes. Nobody out with runners on second and third.
Good AB.
So Bryson has walked 3 of the first 4, and now the bases are loaded here for Jake Parkerson. And another visit out to the mound as Jake Parkerson digs in. The Lions, last time out, they were able to get a 4-3 victory against Pantego Christian, an 8-inning, extra inning victory that came last Thursday. They'll take on Covington Christian coming up later this week on Friday before stepping back into district play against Hyde Park for a doubleheader upcoming next Thursday. As they try to maintain their unblemished mark within league play, the Cardinals, as mentioned, Coram Deo coming up Friday and Saturday. Thursday and Friday, here on Thursday, and then in Flower Mound Friday. We won't have a Tradio broadcast for you Friday, but we will have the pair of matchups upcoming for you next week in Lubbock, Texas. So a call to the hill early, so Jackson Bryson just faces 4 in this start, but walks 3 of them and ultimately pulled from the ball game. And head coach Clay Harris making a call to the bullpen, and he's going to go with Blair Walker. The junior right-hander will come into the ball game. He was at short, but now will get on the bump and face Jake Parkerson. Walker, as we mentioned, strong shortstop for him. And their second hitter in their order, the junior, hit above 300 last year, en route to an all-district selection. And at the plate this season, hitting about 286, but now towing the rubber. Here in the bottom of the first inning, being called upon with the bases loaded and nobody out, and nowhere to put Jake Parkerson, who's been one of the most impressive bats for the Cardinals this year. Second on the team in hits with 25, hitting .446 on the year. And he'll hit with the bases juiced and nobody down here in the bottom of the first as the Cardinals Interesting, we saw last Friday night, the first inning was the inflection point against Southwest Christian. But in a negative way for the Cardinals, they allowed 6 runs in that inning, and they were unable to recover. But now trying to take an early advantage. And Parkerson taking the first for a strike. And that's in for a strike as well. So being called upon out of the pen, Blair Walker moving from short to the mound and firing 2 strikes. It's an 0-2 count. Parkerson watching inside.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Way to fight.
Parkerson staying alive to foul it back. Parkerson.
Way to hold.
Check swing did not go around. 2 balls and 2 strikes upon the appeal. And so Blair Walker for the 2-2.
Good luck.
That'll run the count full.
3, 2. Go, Jake.
And Parkerson fouls it away.
All right.
So that made some defensive changes in the field for the Lions. They moved Jackson Bryson, who started the game on the mound, move him out to center field. That puts Carter Smith in left, Laniski still out in right. And Parkerson watches that for strike 3. And so Blair Walker coming in and getting a punch out, the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Catching Parkerson
The
looking.
third baseman, number 20, Blaine McDonald.
So Blaine McDonald now hits with the bases loaded. He's first pitch swinging, pops it up right side. And there to make the grab, it's Landon Jones. And so the ball will find you when you make defensive adjustments, and that's what the Lions have done here in the first. And Colt Howard still at first base as he started the matchup, but Banks Harris, the man who started at second, he moved over to short. That brought the left fielder Landon Jones into second. And he moved or entered Carter Smith. He put him out in left and then put the starter Bryson out in center. So those are some of the adjustments as Jackson Purdue now hits with the bases loaded. And 2 outs. Inning started with Bryson walking Carney. Emerson singles him home, and then he walks James and Castleberry, pulled out of the ball game. And it brings Blair Walker to the mound, and he gets a strikeout, then a pop out. And there's a ground ball. Stepping on the bag at third is Jay Buchanan, and it's the Lions who get out of it. Bases loaded, nobody out. They only surrender the 1 run, but the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead after an inning here on Tradio.
Hitting out for the Lions, the first baseman, number 44, Colt Howard.
So we start the second inning. Colt Howard to lead things off. And he fouls the first back. So the Cardinals give Andrew Ridgel 1 run of support. And after the first 4 reaching in the first inning, Lions make an early call to the pen. And Blair Walker able to retire all 3 out of the pen. And the Cardinals strand the bases loaded. They had bases juiced, nobody out after the first 4 reach. They did score a run on a Grady Emerson RBI. Single to bring home Griffin Carney. He's there for a strike.
What's going on?
Here to Colt Howard, the junior first baseman. Misses low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Howard on the year hitting .350. He's got a pair of doubles, 13 driven in, which is 4th most on the squad. He watches off the plate, runs the count full.
Get him right here, come on.
And Howard with the impressive .350 batting average, getting on base as well a ton. A .526 OBP. Looking to get aboard here as he chops it to third. McDonald bobbles it. And they throw it to first, but it won't be in time. Probably go down as an E5 on Blaine McDonald. Will allow Colt Howard to reach. Howard had a sensational sophomore campaign. He hit .419, was a first-team All-District selection a year ago.
Keep up, Ridge.
And he gets aboard to begin this inning. And that'll bring up Jay Buchanan, the senior third baseman. And he smokes it to right field.
Fire it!
First pitch swinging on to second, though. They get the force out. And so Buchanan knocks it to right field, but Jackson Castleberry coming up firing, and they're able to get Colt Howard out on the force at second. It was a tough situation with the ball being a line drive. Griffin Carney shading over to try to potentially grab it. It gets through, but gets through quickly. The ball was hit hard by Buchanan, but so hard that it got to Jackson Castleberry with time to throw it to second and get the force out. So Colt Howard off the base paths. Jay Buchanan aboard at first. And that's lifted to center field. Braylon James will make the grab.
The left fielder, number 7, Carter Smith.
So Landon Jones flying out to center brings Carter Smith to the plate. And so after the inning started with an error, you had what looked like was going to be a hit, but at least unfortunately for Jay Buchanan's case, just going to go down in the book as a fielder's choice. Despite a good piece of hitting to right field, he stands at first, but there's 2 outs for Carter Smith now. And off and running, throw down to second by Alsop, gets into center. James there to back it up in center, but the runner getting to second base. A 1-0 Cardinals lead. Now the Lions threatening with a runner in scoring position. After Buchanan takes the extra bag, that's in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here to Carter Smith. Smith, 286 mark on the year for him at the plate. Does have 2 driven in, would love to add to that total. right now to try to even this ball game at 1. Watch as low. And haven't touched on it a ton this evening, but Andrew Ridgel getting the nod for Fort Worth Christian here tonight. His 4th start of the year, 5th overall appearance. He worked a speedy 1-2-3 first with 3 ground balls. And now try to work around Air to lead off this inning on a ball that McDonald was unable to backhand at 3rd. Ridgel, it's been some time since he last got on the bump for sure. He was back on the 28th of February. And it's a walk there by Ridgel. Runners on 1st and 2nd as Carter Smith reaches on the free pass.
The right fielder, number 11, Ledniski.
Carson Ledniski now up to the plate, the senior right fielder with runners on 1st and 2nd. Ridgel missing high, so Andrew Ridgel, he has a 1-2-3 frame in his first outing in over 3 weeks. Mentioned his last time out was on the 28th of February. It was a start. He went 4 innings against Emerson and allowed 2 runs. But hasn't pitched at all over the last 3 weeks until tonight. His 5th overall appearance and 4th start. 10 2/3 on the year with a 1-0 record and a 3.93 ERA with 8 strikeouts and 8 walks in his 10 2/3 coming in. And that is popped up right side. Antonio Andujar in foul ground makes the grab, and that'll end the threat here in the top of the 2nd. We go to the home half. Cardinals back to the plate. They lead by 1.
Leading off for the Cardinals, the first baseman, number 33, Antonio Andujar.
Tony! Go threes.
We're back with you as we start the bottom of the 2nd inning. Antonio Andujar leading things off. First pitch, swinging, fouls it back to the Cardinals dugout, 0-1 count. And so Blair Walker, who came in the bottom of the 1st with the bases loaded and nobody out, as Andujar grounds it to 3rd. Buchanan with a nice play across in time. Outstanding play at 3rd there by Buchanan for the 1st out.
Andujar 0. Harry also
being robbed of potentially extra bases if that gets past the 3rd baseman. But Buchanan backhands it right by the foul line for a great play for the 1st out. Brings Harry Alsop to the plate. 2-0 here to Alsop. Swing and a miss, 2-1 count. Uh-oh. As we are mentioning with Blair Walker, just a fantastic effort for him to come in, bases loaded, nobody out, and retire the next 3 to get out of the frame.
Good look, good look.
Inheriting a bases-loaded situation is tough, and especially when he had to do it against one of the hottest hitters on the Cardinals, Jake Parkerson. Strikes him out looking and gets a pop out and a ground out to get out of the threat. So the Cardinals limited to just 1 run in that first inning, despite the first 4 reaching. Walker came in, and now he starts the second inning and gets a ground ball. They're off to short. Harris across in time.
Let's go, Griff.
The second baseman, number 27, Griffin Carney.
Banks Harris making a nice play at short after starting the ball game at second, moving over with the starter Blair Walker, who started at short, now on the hill. And Carney pulls it foul, trying to jump on the first pitch from
Good cut, Griff.
Blair Walker, but just an 0-1 count now. Walker, the junior, he has had some of the most impressive numbers on the hill for this team. A 147 ERA in 19 innings. He's just allowed 4 earned. He's also had 20 punch-outs as well. But pretty dominant numbers on the mound for him. A 147 ERA, a 2-0 record across 6 appearances. This now his 7th appearance. In 19 innings, just the 4 earned, 20 punch-outs as well, and only 7 hits surrendered. And looking for a 1-2-3 second inning. He's retired 5 straight now out of the pen, and now faces the top of the Cardinals order here in Griffin Carney. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Carney walked his first time up, stole second, then came home to score on an Emerson single. And Carney watching there, 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. And for all the base runners we've seen, an error and a fielder's choice last half inning for the Lions, and the Cardinals' first 4 reaching. The only hit we've seen today is that Emerson RBI single. For either team, as both teams have committed an error in the field. And Walker for the 3-2. He walks Griffin Carney.
Bless you.
And that'll put the Cardinals' leadoff man up here for Grady Emerson.
Grady Emerson.
Emerson singled home a run in his first trip to the plate in the first inning. He watches low, extending his streak. His on-base streak. So now 24 consecutive games to begin the campaign for the Cardinals. And Emerson taking for a strike. It's an even count.
Go Deuce.
Emerson now on a 9-game hit streak as well after his RBI single in the first. And Carney caught in the middle. He dives into second, and he is out. So Griffin Carney picked off to end the bottom of the second. Cardinals carry a 1-0 lead into the third, but Carney got a head start. Walker wisely stepping off, and they get the tag applied at second base by Banks Harris to end the threat. 1-0 after 2. Cardinals have the lead. You're watching Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio.
They call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights. In the bright lights, come on, it's yours tonight. Come on, you'll see. This time it's you and me. Come on, let it go. It's just a little rock and roll. Let me hear you one more time. I can see that look in your eyes.
We're back to action as we begin the third inning. 1-0 score. Cardinals lead. Ridgel back out for another inning of work after a pair of scoreless frames for him. Went 1-2-3 in the first inning. Worked around a leadoff error and a walk in the second. Got out of it. Now 9-1-2 due up for the Lions here in the third. Heath Speck leading things off. And the junior designated hitter fouls it away to the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Speck a .231 average on the year. Try to get things started for Grace Prep here in the top of the third inning. The 1-2. Ridgel missing high.
Go, Reg.
That's tapped over to McDonald. And Speck will get aboard. McDonald charging in to make the play, but Speck was able to get there in time, and another ground ball that the Cardinals, just as it was to start the bottom of the second, a ground ball they're unable to handle with success. Same thing happens here. And it allows a runner to reach to begin the top of the third inning. Flips us back to the top of the order. Here's Banks Harris. Speck credited with a single on that one. He reaches at first base for Banks Harris, who grounded out to short. His first time up, now squaring to bunt, pulls it back.
Go, Reg.
So 2 balls, no strikes here to Harris. Once again, squaring around, the runner is off. Also throwing, and it gets over the head of Griffin Carney into center. And that makes it a 3-0 count. And so Banks Harris, the most dangerous hitter when you look at what he's done this year for the Lions, a .512 batting average, OPS north of 1,200. He's walked 15 times compared to just 6 strikeouts, now hitting with a 3-0 count. A base is now open, but nobody out. And Blair Walker waiting on deck, who's done a good job out of the pen. Being called upon early. So Ridgel misfires there. It runs.
Let's go, Ridge.
A runners on first and second situation here for Blair Walker, as Banks Harris, the first team all-district selection last year as a freshman, was the league newcomer of the year for them. They're in Taps District 2 in Division 2, Cardinals District 1, so the two districts paired in the opening round of the playoffs, and could potentially see these teams meet again, as the Cardinals were able to knock off Grace Prep, a 2-1 victory in the playoffs last year. Both teams with pretty impressive records to begin the year, but after Ridgel walks Harris, that'll bring up Blair Walker, the junior who has come in and done a great job out on the mound. He's gone 6 up and technically 6 down out of the bullpen. He came in with the bases loaded in the first inning with nobody out. And got a strikeout, a pop-up, and a ground out, and then retired the first 2 on ground balls in the second before walking Carney. However, then picked Carney off, so has only faced 6 batters in 2 innings after starting the game at short. And now number 12 for Grace Prep, Blair Walker, who, as we just mentioned, has been great in relief trying to help his own cause as the tying run at second. He grounded out to second his first time up. And he's showing the bunt early. He pulls it back. It hits off the leather of Harry Alsop. He loses the glove and has to retreat back to the backstop to go get it, but not before runners get to second and third. And so that probably we'll see what it does to the approach on if Walker will still want to try to drop one down. Was showing the bunt first and second, nobody out. But now with your second hitter in your order up, and Blair Walker, a .286 hitter on the year with 7 driven in, hit .311 last season as a sophomore. En route to a second-team All-District nod for him. And now has a chance to help his own cause. A base hit could give his squad a lead, and with him being on the mound right now, having success trying to give himself and his Grace Prep Lions an advantage. Corners pinched in for Fort Worth Christian, a 1-0 count here to Blair Walker.
There you go.
And a good pitch by Andrew Ridgel gets Walker to chase. It's a 1-1 count on a breaking ball that he buries.
Good stop.
2 balls and a strike here to Walker.
2 balls, 1 strike.
So Ridgel will take a beat and steps off for a moment. Runners on second and third. First 2 reaching in this top of the third. And Walker turns on this one. And it is fair. Extra bases for Blair Walker. 2 come across to score. Walker digging for third in time. And it's a 2-1 Grace Prep lead here in the top of the third as Blair Walker delivers a 2 RBI extra base hit, digging for the triple, and the Lions take a 2-1 lead. That brings Bear Graves to the plate. Still nobody out. And now Grace Prep ahead 2-1. That's a ground ball to Emerson. Charging on it on the first, it's in time. But Bear Graves doing a job as well, extending the Lions lead to 3-1.
The first baseman, number 44, Colt Howard.
And it brings Colt Howard to the plate. So Blair Walker comes across to score. getting RBIs number 8 and 9 of the year and scoring his 9th run of the year. With the 2 RBI triple. It's a line drive that he smokes down the right field line, giving his team a 2-1 advantage. Then comes across to score on the ground ball by Bear Graves, brings Colt Howard up with 1 out. And a swing and a miss. Ridgel had him fooled. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Howard. Howard reached on an error to begin the 2nd inning. He grounds it to Emerson. He makes the play at short for the 2nd out. Grady Emerson will lead off the next inning for the Cardinals. He was at the plate when Griffin Carney got picked off to end last half inning. Misses high on the first one. Here to Jay Buchanan after the ground ball to Emerson, who's made 3 plays out at short so far tonight. Been such a big addition to this Fort Worth Christian squad this year, coming over from Argyle along with Jackson Castleberry. But the senior coming from Argyle, he obviously has stood out with Team USA. 3 different gold medals and a couple of World Cups for him. He's played many different positions on that circuit as well. And at just 18 years old, has plenty of MLB scouts watching him every night. A 3-0 count. That is popped toward left and diving, but unable to corral it is Purdue in left. Emerson will get it in, but it's a 2-out single by Jay Buchanan to continue things here in the top of the 3rd. Brings Landon Jones up. And Ridgel able to get ahead. Ridgel taking a check after the single. A hitter-friendly count to Buchanan, hits it to left, and Purdue out in left, unable to make the diving grab, extending this inning. Runner is off, that's up and in. Alsop throws it down to second, but it won't be a play as it's Buchanan who takes the extra 90 feet, moving into scoring position. But the big swing in this inning came from Blair Walker, a 2 RBI triple, giving his team the lead and himself the lead out on the hill as well. Has done a great job through a couple innings of action in relief. Mentioned has had some superb numbers on the year on the mound, and well, that is certainly showing. Through a couple innings of relief as Ridgel's trying to get out of the 3rd. His squad now trailing 3-1 as it's fouled away.
What's going on?
So a 3-1 score, 2 balls and 2 strikes the count as Ridgel comes set. And Jones watches, full count.
Here we go.
Ridgel gets strike 3. It's in there to catch Jones looking, but not before the Lions strike for 3, and they're ahead by 2 as we go to the bottom of the third. So Grady Emerson leads us off as we start the bottom of the third inning. Ball 1. Emerson watching the first 2 outside the zone. Takes on the outer half. Emerson, fresh off a gold medal with the 18U national team. Has just had a phenomenal senior season with all the spotlight and pressure on him. He's delivered in such a big way for Fort Worth Christian. Backhanded at short, bounced on to first in time. Nifty play made for the first down here in the bottom of the third inning as Blair Walker induces the ground ball. It's Banks Harris who makes a nice backhanded play. And that brings Braylon James up to the plate. After Emerson grounds out. James walked his first time up. It's in for a strike. As Walker delivers, misses low to even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The junior right-hander tossed. Here's the 2-2. James grounds it to second. Landon Jones making the play off to Colt Howard for the second out. So back-to-back ground balls, and that really is what Blair Walker has come in and done a great job of getting the Cardinals to beat the baseball into the turf here at Keck-Horton Field. Inducing a lot of ground balls. He had 2 last inning, 2 here this inning. And 1 ground ball as well to end the first when he entered with the bases loaded and nobody out as Castleberry fouls it away, an 0-1 count. But for Walker, as a freshman through 10 2/3, allowed 8 earned, had a 5.25 ERA, a 9.45 ERA a year ago across 6 2/3. As Castleberry flies this towards center. And coming in to dive for the attempt was Bryson, but it falls out of the outfield, allowing Castleberry to reach with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. But as we were mentioning, it was just 10 2/3 as a freshman, 6 2/3 as a sophomore.
Let's go, Jake.
But now it's Blair Walker who's totaled, including the 2 outs tonight, the 2 2/3. He's gone 21 2/3 this year and has only allowed 4 earned runs as Parkerson pulls it away. So he has really been sensational out on the mound, and ERA around 140 on the season for the right-hander, working here to Jake Parkerson, who's 0 for 1. He was the first to face Blair Walker. It was Parkerson who was set to hit with the bases loaded and nobody out in the first inning, but he did it against this arm, Blair Walker, who came in and struck him out. And now Parkerson rips it right to third. Buchanan makes the play. They go to second for the force to retire the side. Parkerson smokes it, but Buchanan makes a better play on the field, and we're through 3. Grace Prep up by 2. You're watching Cardinal Baseball Live, presentation here on Trading.
Coleman, 11th grade. This is my first year at Fourth Christian. I think that I really like about Fourth Christian is just the community aspect of it. Once I got here, I feel like everybody just kind of like brought me in and was super kind. And I never really been in like an environment to where like everybody's just nice like that. Like it doesn't really feel like school for me. It feels like a community. Like I'm actually going there having fun and learning.
Visit FWC.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Hi, my name is Kendall Bryant. I'm in 8th grade, and this is my 3rd year at Fort Worth Christian. My favorite thing about Fort Worth Christian is how everyone feels like a family, and it's a very close-knit community.
Visit FWC.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Welcome back. Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. Happy to be with you tonight. Great night for baseball here at Cat Corton Field in North Richland Hills, Texas. Just a picture-perfect night. Clear skies, 77 degrees. We're not dealing with those gusty winds at all. It's a good night for baseball. But it's the Grace Prep Lions ahead right now. 3-1 advantage as we start the 4th. New arm into the game. Samuel Welsh towing the rubber for the Cardinals in relief, so that closes the book on Andrew Ridgell's day. Ridgell ultimately goes 3 innings, as that is smoked towards center. And coming over to make the grab is Braylon James. So Carter Smith, good hold of it out to center field. But he flies out. Braylon James ranges over to left center to make the grab. We introduce you to the new right-hander, Samuel Welsh, who retires the first he sees out of the pen. And he faces Carson Ledniski now in a swing and a miss on the first one to him. Ridgell goes 3 innings. Allows 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, has 1 strikeout and 1 walk through 61 pitches, 30 of them going for strikes, and faced 15 batters. And his 3 innings of work exits with his team trailing 3-1. Samuel Welsh, it's his 5th appearance of the year for the Cardinals. Last time out, February 26th, as that's grounded to third. And on to first, it is in time. So Blaine McDonald handling things. And Samuel Welsh doing a nice job retiring the first two out of the pen. He'll now face the ninth hitter in the order, Heath Speck, the junior DH, who singled to begin the third inning, and that began that big third frame as Grace Prep was able to score 3 in the top of the third. Welsh, first one, goes to the backstop for ball 1. So we've got 2 outs, a 1-0 count here to Speck. But it's been nearly a month since Samuel Welsh has got out in game action on the mound. Last time out was February 26th against Tyler Legacy. Went an inning and 2/3. Allowed 4 runs and was handed the loss in that game, despite none of those runs being earned against the right-hander. And all in all on the year has just allowed 1 earned run, 8 runs overall, but just 1 earned in 4 innings. And that misses inside, so Welsh issues a free pass to Heath Speck after retiring the first 2, and now he'll face the top of the order and the dangerous Banks Harris. Getting on base, an OBP of a .644 clip entering tonight. 0 for 1 tonight. He reached on a walk and came around to score on a Blair Walker 2 RBI triple in the third inning. And so Banks Harris, the district newcomer of the year last year for Grace Prep as a freshman, hit .355, a .512 hitter this year. Going well north of 500 on the campaign for the young sophomore leadoff man atop Clay Harris's lineup. He's been a big weapon, and Samuel Welsh faces the top of the order with a runner aboard now. And that comes inside and hits
Come on, Sam.
Banks Harris. So first and second now with 2 outs.
The pitcher, number 12, Blair Walker.
And so Welsh will have to work around a hit batter. First batter that he's plunked this season. In his 4 innings, the command has been the biggest thing you can point to, at least in terms of the struggles and runs, as that one sails to the backstop, allowing runners. No! Gunned down at third. Harry Alsop with a heads-up play to catch Speck trying to take third, and that'll end the threat. So a ball sailing to the backstop works in the Cardinals' favor as Speck is out at third. McDonald applying the tag, and Alsop with a good shot to third to end the frame. We continue action here on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio as you see McDonald with the tag as we take it a break.
Hi, my name is Madeline Moda. I'm in 9th grade, and this is my 4th year at Fort Worth Christian. I enjoy so much about FWC, especially the community. You can tell the teachers truly care, and I love how Christ is incorporated into every classroom. I love that at FWC, you can be included in so many aspects of the school and so many new opportunities.
Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
My name is Brooks Hill, and I've been at Fort Worth Christian for 3 years now. My favorite thing is probably getting the opportunity to represent Christ in everything that we do here, whether that's band or athletics or just in the classroom.
Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Let's go, Blaine.
So Blaine McDonald will lead us off. 3-1 ball game. We welcome you back to Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. McDonald ripping one right at Buchanan, and that gets behind Colt Howard allowing McDonald to reach Buchanan, who has made some fantastic plays at third, including one to end last inning. With that ball getting behind Colt Howard, allowing McDonald to reach to begin this bottom of the fourth inning.
Jackson, Purdue.
Go 2-5.
That brings Jackson Purdue to the plate. And he takes the first up and in. So Cardinals get a leadoff runner aboard. Purdue fouls one back. Two balls and a strike. Purdue going up to get it, fouls it away, 2-2 count. McDonald standing at first base after the error.
Go Purdue. There you go.
And Purdue is hit. So runners now on first and second with nobody out. And it brings Antonio Andujar to the plate. So he is Tim Polster running the controls tonight. Give a great shout out to our fantastic producer. He's the one punching the buttons, showing us the different camera angles. And for those that don't know how you would know, he also runs a camera himself while switching all the other cameras, putting up all the graphics. So he's not just a one-man band. We've got a great crew here tonight, but he does a lot for just one person, so big shout out to him, helping us bring you this Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio product. And well, the Cardinals are hoping to now get back in the ballgame. The first two have reached. They're down by 2. It was Blair Walker, the man on the mound now, that gave them the lead in that 3-run top of the third inning. And Andujar will foul this one away. So a ball and a strike is the count.
Threes. Behavior, kid, come on.
Two balls, one strike, nobody out. Antonio Andujar grounded out to third his first time up. With an error and a hit by pitch, helping the first two reach, and now a 3-1 count to Andujar.
Make it big ears, Tony.
Full count.
That's not you, threes. That's on you. Come on. battle here. Come on.
Andujar ends up getting hit as well. It was a full count offering either way, taking first base as he's plunked. So back-to-back hit by pitches loads up the bases here for Harry Alsop.
The catcher, 0, Harry Alsop.
And Harry Alsop takes the first for a strike. An error and 2 hit by pitches as the bases juiced for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 4th. And Alsop down in the count now 0-2. 2 really good pitches by Walker to paint the outer half to get ahead. Corners in for the Lions. And Alsop takes up top. Harry Alsop grounded out in the second inning to short what was just his 5th at-bat of the season. Can he come through right here? Be a great time for his first hit. Has not seen a ton of action for the Cardinals, but hitting with the bases full of Cardinals here in the 4th. And he watches for strike 3 called on the outer half as Blair Walker pumps the outside corner for a 3rd strike. And that gives us 1 out.
Number 27, Griffin Carney.
Here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It brings us back to the top of the order, though, in Griffin Carney. And so Griffin Carney will try to help the Cardinals chip away at what's a 2-run deficit. They've got the tying run out in scoring position as Carney fouls the first back and trying to take advantage of an error, hit by pitch, and another free pass to allow the bases to get juiced here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Carney watches outside, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Lions trying to hold on to what's a 2-run lead now. And Griffin Carney at the plate.
Out low. Good eye, good lead.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Yep.
So 3 balls and a strike here to Griffin Carney. He's been up to the plate twice. He's walked twice. And now hits with a 3-1 count. Carney skies this on the infield. Looks like Walker will grab it himself, and he does. Can field his own position. Oh, he's a great defender. Started the game at short, and he's able to handle that pop-up, but it's Walker who's not out of it yet. Will have to face Grady Emerson with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
All right, G.
So the Cardinals want up to the plate. The senior shortstop entered tonight hitting .483 on the year, and Emerson launches this one to right field, and it's down. McDonald and Purdue come across to score, and we are tied at 3 as Grady Emerson delivers once again another extra base hit to nod the score in the bottom of the 4th.
Let's follow him up right here.
Another look as Grady Emerson, first pitch, hits this out to right. A diving effort by Ledniski, but came up short on his attempt to try to go grab that one. And Emerson able to dig for the double to drive in 2. He's driven in all 3 tonight for the Cardinals. And Braylon James will have a chance to give the Cardinals the lead. 1-0 count, 2 outs, 2 on, both in scoring position. As Emerson's double allows McDonald and Purdue to score. Andujar now at third, Emerson at second, James at the plate. Walked his first time up, grounded out to second in the 3rd inning. James taken for a strike, an even count here with 2 outs. So another multi-hit day for Grady Emerson, who stands at second. He's now got 29 RBIs on the season.
Good lead.
29 RBIs in what is now, for Fort Worth Christian, their 24th game of the season. 2-1 count, 2 down. James now looking to add on to his RBI total. And more importantly for the Cardinals, trying to give them the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We're tied at 3. As Walker delivers, and James, ground ball to second. Landon Jones handles it with success. Not before Grady Emerson's 2 RBI double ties us at 3. We are through 4. It's a 3-3 score. You're watching Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio.
Bright cleats or bright gloves?
Bright gloves.
All right. Flat brim hat or curve brim hat?
Curve brim.
All right. Best stadium food?
Probably hot dog.
All right. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
All right. Favorite baseball movie?
Sandlot.
All right. What is the worst sound to hear in baseball?
Probably like metal cleats on concrete.
All right. If it wasn't for baseball, what sport would you play?
Golf.
Classic. Yeah. And are you a window seat or an aisle seat person?
I'm a window seat.
All right. Thanks, Gregory.
It's a brand new ball game as we start the 5th inning, all tied at 3.
What's them?
Another inning of action now. Out of the bullpen for the Cardinals, Samuel Welsh was able to throw a scoreless 4th inning. Ended in a unique way, ended with a pitch that got to the backstop. But they were able to cut down Heath Speck, who was able to get aboard at third base to end that inning.
Go, Sam.
But now the Lions trying to answer back in the right spot of the order to do it. 2, 3, and 4 due up for them at a 2-1 count. It's Hank Austin now doing the catching for the Cardinals. So he enters in after it was Harry Alsop to start the game behind the plate. The Cardinals turn to Hank Austin. Now behind the dish, going up against Blair. Walker had the big 2 RBI triple to give his team the lead. Chops this one right back to Welsh, who flips it on to first in time. And now there's one out. Good job by Welsh handling his position with success. And just like Andrew Ridgel, it had been over 3 weeks since Ridgel last pitched. Same story with Welsh, getting an opportunity in midweek action in non-district play. And it had been nearly a month since the last time Welsh had pitched against Tyler Legacy, when he went an inning and 2/3. He's worked an inning and a third so far out of the pen tonight. Inning and 2/3 is his longest outing, so you wonder how long he will go as he faces Bear Graves with a 2-0 count.
Let's go, 1-6.
The junior catcher calling time. Hitting with a 3-0 count. We'll see if he has a green light. Washes right down the pipe. 3 balls and a strike now. Graves 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of ground balls. 1 to third, 1 to short. So a couple of pulled ground balls to the left side. And he watches above the zone for ball 4. And Graves will reach.
Go, Sam.
A 1-out walk issued by Welsh.
The first baseman, number 44, Colt Howard.
The third free pass that he has issued tonight. Second walk and also a hit by pitch he had to navigate around. And now faces Colt Howard. Howard 0 for 2 tonight. He takes the first up top. The junior hit .419 a year ago as a first-team All-District selection. A .350 hitter this year, OPS at .926. He's driven in 13, along with a pair of extra base hits. He rips it right at McDonald. Goes on to second. There's one. They're unable to convert the turn. And the ball goes out of play. That'll award Colt Howard second.
Come on, Griffith, all the time in the world.
The third baseman, number 1, Jay McKinney.
So the Cardinals can't convert the what could have been inning-ending 5-4-3 double play turn as the Carney throw goes beyond the reach of Antonio Andujar. And so Howard will get aboard on a fielder's choice and then take second on the throwing error by Carney. And it brings Jay Buchanan to the plate, a 1-0 count. Buchanan 1 for 2 tonight. A ball and a strike is the count. Hits, though, have been hard to come by for both teams. Just 3 hits for each team. 3 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. For the Cardinals, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Lions as well.
Oh, my God. You go, 1-6.
And tonight, starting a streak of 5 consecutive games against teams with the mascot Lions for Fort Worth Christian. So Cardinals and Lions will be battling Coram Deo coming up in district play. And then a trip to Lubbock next week. And again, for those wondering, had a couple of people ask us before the show if we will be making that trek out, and we will be there in Lubbock, Texas next week to bring you these Cardinal Baseball Live broadcasts here on Tradio. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner aboard at second. And that's turned on by Buchanan and down. Grace Prep will take the lead on a 2-out RBI double by Jay Buchanan. And it's a 4-3 score. Buchanan trading places with Colt Howard, who previously occupied second. And then they used a courtesy runner. And he comes across to score. Liam Jaime, the sophomore courtesy runner at second, representing the go-ahead run, running in the spot of Howard. And he's the one who comes home to score. Really, anybody was able to get across on that ball, ripped down the left field line. A great swing there by Jay Buchanan. He's had a good day at the plate. A couple of hits for Buchanan and the double, and after Welsh throws a ball to Landon Jones, the senior left fielder, it's a visit out to the mound. Pitching coach John Hampton having a word with Samuel Welsh, as there is some action stirring in that Cardinal bullpen. A good back and forth affair that we have had tonight. If you're just joining us, it was the Cardinals who struck first. They score in the bottom of the first inning. Grady Emerson, RBI single to center, extending his hit streak to 9 games. And then Grace Prep scores 3 runs in the top of the third inning, much thanks to a big 2 RBI triple by Blair Walker. And Blair Walker, he was deployed out of the bullpen, so to speak, came in from short to the mound in the first inning as the Cardinals had their first 4 reach in the first, and bases loaded, nobody out. He got out of it without allowing a run, just the 1 run that came across before he entered. And then he comes through to deliver a 2 RBI triple to give his team a 2-1 lead. They go on to score 1 more in that inning to make it a 3-1 lead, and then Grady Emerson had a 2 RBI double to tie us at 3 in the bottom of the 4th. But here in the top of the 5th, the Lions take back the lead, a 4-3 advantage now, as Samuel Welsh, after the visit, gets Landon Jones to swing and miss on a ball upstairs.
Yeah.
In for a strike, a 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch from Welsh. He delivers, and it's in there for strike 3. Samuel Welsh getting the strikeout to end the threat in the 5th, but not before Jay Buchanan gives his team a 4-3 lead with an RBI double down the left field line. Cardinals coming to the plate when we come back at the bottom of the 5th.
Hunter, what is the biggest rivalry in all sports?
Michigan versus Ohio football.
Ohio State, dude.
It's not Ohio. It's Ohio, not Ohio State.
Okay. What's a freshman duty you've had to do so far?
Take the speaker from the bus to the dugout.
All right. In your opinion, what's the hardest pitch to hit?
Change up.
All right. What's better for playoff time? Bleached playoff hair or no shave playoffs?
Bleached playoff hair.
All right. What's the first thing you buy if you won the lottery today?
Probably some Versace glasses.
All right. What's your dream car?
McLaren.
All right. Do you prefer cowboy boots or sneakers?
Sneakers.
All right. And then what's your favorite restaurant?
I'd say probably Eddie's.
All right. Thanks, Hunter, for your time, man.
Absolutely.
Leading off for the Cardinals, the right fielder, number 11, Jackson Castleberry.
Because as soon as you left, the dog started playing up everywhere. Yeah, we don't know what's wrong with them.
Jackson Castleberry leads us off as we begin the bottom of the 5th inning, a 4-3 score. Another nail-biter between the Lions and the Cardinals. It was Fort Worth Christian who picked up a 2-1 victory in the playoffs last year to knock out Grace Prep in the postseason.
Go ones.
I'm at the baseball game, so be careful going home.
And a 4-3 lead now for Grace Prep after Jay Buchanan's RBI double last half inning. Gives them a 4-3 lead. Another tightly contested contest after the two teams met in a close affair last postseason. This, though, non-district action here tonight. However, could be a potential playoff matchup again as the Cardinals out of District 1, Grace Prep out of District 2.
Barry.
That's the pairing for the opening round of the playoffs in TAP's Division 2's playoff bracket. So we
Good luck.
could potentially see that again depending on how things shake out. Grace Prep currently in first place. And the Cardinals tied for second within their district, and they'll resume district play coming up on Thursday. But right now, trying to battle back.
Let's go ones.
Down 4-3. We'll see what type of response they have. Jackson Castleberry hitting with the count full to begin this bottom of the 5th inning. And Castleberry takes for strike 3. He passed the bat thinking perhaps it was ball 4, instead rung up for a 3rd strike, and it's Blair Walker who continues to throw the ball well. Been out there ever since the 1st inning when he inherited a bases loaded, nobody out situation. And now Jake Parkerson comes up. And Parkerson grounds that through the right side for a base hit. So with 1 out, a runner aboard, and Jake Parkerson, as the tying run, gets on the base paths here for the Cardinals.
The third baseman, number 20, Blaine McDonald.
So Blair Walker about to throw his 81st pitch, and it misses inside to Blaine McDonald for ball 1. So 81 pitches in relief now for Walker, but he has recorded all the outs for Grace Prep. So far tonight, a 4 1/3 worked, just has allowed now 3 hits, with that 3rd coming a moment ago to Jake Parkerson, who's standing at first base, and 2 runs, neither of them earned runs, but he's also allowed 2 walks and has had 3 strikeouts. So continuing to lower his ERA, which was already below $1.50 entering tonight. And gets McDonald to swing and a miss. And that was through 19 innings, had only allowed 4 runs. He's gone 4 1/3 without allowing an earned run, despite surrendering 2 on a 2 RBI at the time game-tying double by Grady Emerson. Check swing, and McDonald holds up.
All right, Blaine, let's go.
And that runs the count full. McDonald pulls it foul. And McDonald drawing ball 4. And so runners on first and second now.
The left fielder, number 25, Jackson Purdue.
And it brings Jackson Purdue to the plate. With first and second and 1 out. And Purdue taking the first for a strike.
Let's go 2-5.
Fouls it back. Entering tonight, Purdue had just played in one game this season. This his second appearance of the year. Entered tonight with no official at-bats on the season, 0 for 1 tonight, hitting with an 0-2 count. He watches outside. Had 2 plate appearances entering tonight. He watches low. And he was hit once, he walked once in those 2 plate appearances entering this evening. Tonight he's grounded out and then was also hit. Swing and a miss by Purdue as he goes down on strikes for the second out. And it brings Antonio Andujar to the plate. 92 pitches into Blair Walker's outing. Trying to get through the 5th, the tying run at second. And Andujar fouls the first one up the first base line.
Go 3s.
And Andujar smokes this to left, going back on it to make the grab. As Smith tracks back in front of the wall to corral it, and that'll end the threat. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Andujar gave it a ride, but Carter Smith there to make the play. We go to the 6th, the 1-run lead for the Lions here on Tradio.
Hunter, what is the biggest rivalry in all sports?
Michigan versus Ohio football.
It's Ohio State, dude.
It's not Ohio. It's Ohio, not Ohio State.
Okay. What's a freshman duty you've had to do so far?
Take the speaker from the bus to the dugout.
All right. In your opinion, what's the hardest pitch to hit?
Change up.
All right. What's better for playoff time? Bleached playoff hair or no shave playoffs?
Bleached playoff hair.
All right. What's the first thing you'd buy if you won the lottery today?
Probably some Versace glasses.
All right. What's your dream car?
McLaren.
All right. Do you prefer cowboy boots or sneakers?
Sneakers.
All right. And then what's your favorite restaurant?
I'd say probably Eddie's.
All right. Thanks, Hunter, for your time, man.
Absolutely.
Leading off for the Lions, the left fielder, number 7, Carter Smith.
So 7, 8, and 9 due up in the order here in the 6th inning for the Lions. A 4-3 lead for them as well. Ben Rodriguez, the new arm into the game.
Go, Ben.
For Fort Worth Christian. And 2 great innings of relief as it's popped up by Smith out to right. Jackson Castleberry is there. Mentioning Ben Rodriguez, though, last time out had 2 scoreless innings and picked up the win.
The right fielder, number 11,
allowed just 1 hit and had 1 strikeout against Southwest Christian last week in the Cardinals' extra inning victory at Southwest Christian last Thursday night. It was Ben Rodriguez who came in and delivered a really great clutch relief appearance to go 2 scoreless and ultimately hold down Southwest Christian so the Cardinals could pick up the victory. And he closed it out to pick up the win himself on the hill, and he gets a ground ball there as Carson Lednitzky grounds out to second. So Rodriguez retiring the first 2. He has some great numbers on the year. This is his team leading 10th appearance of the season.
Yeah.
Fires for a strike. The 2 innings he threw last Thursday, the longest appearance he's had this season. But he's been the most utilized arm for the Cardinals. Now making his 10th appearance, he's 3-0. On the year with those 3 victories, no losses for Ben Rodriguez. He's allowed 8 hits in 7 2/3, but just 2 earned runs for a 1.82 ERA. And has only walked 1 batter across his first 9 appearances, now 10, all out of the bullpen. just one walk, has a lot of trust with the staff, with Rusty Greer and company, to put him out there in higher leverage situations. And this one, certainly the way you could characterize a one-run ball game in the sixth, him being put out on the mound. After Samuel Welsh did a solid job, 2 innings, just allowed 1 hit and 1 run. It was unearned with 2 walks and a strikeout as well. It's fouled back by Heath Speck, who's up to the plate. 1 for 1 tonight, singled in the third, and came across to score on that 2 RBI triple by Blair Walker. He also walked in the fourth, now up for a third time as Rodriguez is looking for a speedy 1-2-3 frame. He kicks and deals and misses inside, so now a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, yeah.
And that lifted toward Grady Emerson, who makes the grab to retire the side. So Ben Rodriguez only needing 10 pitches to fire a 1-2-3 frame. The Cardinals back to the plate. They're down by a run as we head to the home half of the 6th inning.
Coleman, 11th grade. This is my first year at Fourth Christian. I think that I really like about Fourth Christian is just the community aspect of it. Once I got here, I feel like everybody just kind of like brought me in and was super kind. And I never really been in like an environment to where like everybody's just nice like that. Like it doesn't really feel like school for me. It feels like a community. Like I'm actually going there having fun and learning.
Visit FWC.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Hi, my name is Kendall Bryant. I'm in 8th grade and this is my 3rd year at Fort Worth Christian. My favorite thing about Fort Worth Christian is how everyone feels like a family and it's a very close-knit community.
Visit FWC.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Hank Austin leads us off as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. Another inning of action for Blair Walker. He's been out there since the bottom of the 1st inning when he was deployed in a bases loaded, nobody out situation. And now approaching 100 pitches on the night. 97 pitches deep into his outing. As he starts the 6th, gets Austin to swing and miss, still with the giddy up on the fastball for him. For the Cardinals, it was 3 innings for Ridgel, 2 innings for Welsh, and then Ben Rodriguez worked a 1-2-3, top of the 6th. Meanwhile, for Grace Prep, it was Jackson Bryson who started the game, only faced 4 batters, and it's been Blair Walker ever since. He's gone 5 innings. And Austin towards center field. Back on it to make the grab is that aforementioned starter, Jackson Bryson. For the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And it brings Griffin Carney to the plate.
Go, Griff.
So 3 balls and a strike here to Griffin Carney. At the top of this Cardinals order, walked his first 2 times up. And thought he maybe had a free pass there. Now a full count.
You're all right, Griff. It's not you.
He popped up to short in his 3rd at-bat, his 4th plate appearance tonight, coming here in the 6th inning. And Carney rips it right at 3rd. Buchanan recovers and goes across for the 2nd out. So Walker, who's 106 pitches deep into his outing, he will come out of the ball game and make way for Heath Speck, who comes in. We'll step aside for a moment. Grady Emerson hitting with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. New arm into the game when we come back.
Fort Worth Christian School is Christ-centered, college preparatory school where every student is known, loved, and valued. At FWC, students are challenged to pursue excellence in the classroom, in competition, and in their faith, all while being equipped with a strong biblical worldview. From standout academics and championship athletics to award-winning fine arts and a vibrant student community, Fort Worth Christian is preparing tomorrow's leaders today. We invite you to discover the difference for your family. Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining the game with us today. We hope you are enjoying this presentation of Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. We have a target of 20,000 channel subscribers before the end of this spring. We need your help to reach that goal. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and pick a friend or family member to whom you can share the game. We are happy you are watching and hope you consider becoming a member for access to different member-only content.
Welcome back to action here on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. So a great effort tonight for Blair Walker, closing the book on an unbelievable relief appearance. He goes 106 pitches out of the bullpen, 5 2/3, entered in the bottom of the 1st with nobody out, and goes 5 2/3, allows just 2 unearned runs. And now Grady Emerson hits in the bottom of the 6th inning against the new arm. And it's the junior right-hander Heath Speck with Emerson at the plate. Grady Emerson has driven in all 3 Cardinal runs tonight. The 2-0. Takes for ball 3. He had an RBI single in the 1st to give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. And then a 2 RBI double that came in the 4th inning to tie the game at 3. But in the 5th, the Lions took back the lead at 4-3 after Jay Buchanan doubled. And Emerson watches for a strike. But it's Grady who's 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Hits with a 3-1 count. And Emerson rips it to left center. Digging and rounding around first, but he'll retreat in a 2-out single that he lines to left center on a 3-1 pitch that he rips to the opposite field. And that extends the inning to Braylon James, a 3-hit day for Grady Emerson. Braylon James right back to the pitcher, Speck. James digging for first. He'll get there in time. So runners on first and second with 2 outs now for Jackson Castleberry. And the Cardinals with an opportunity here. Jackson Castleberry comes up, the cleanup man, with 2 on. So Grady Emerson, 3 for 4 tonight, is raising his batting average to .507 on the year. The star senior shortstop back north of 500 for his batting average on the year. And Braylon James getting aboard. Runners first and second here for Jackson Castleberry. And Castleberry, first pitch swinging, lifts it out to right field, and it's grabbed down and right to retire the side. Carson Ledniski is there. Castleberry gave it a ride, but not deep enough. And the Cardinals strand the tying run in scoring position. We head to the 7th here on Tradio. Cardinals down 4-3. So we start the 7th inning, and it's Ben Rodriguez for another inning of action for the Cardinals. 4-3 ball game. Cardinals struck first. Lions score 3 in the 3rd. Cardinals tie it back up at the 4th. And then in the 5th, Grace Prep uses a Jay Buchanan double down the left field line with 2 outs to take a 4-3 lead. And it's where we stand now as we begin the 7th inning. So 2 balls and a strike. Ben Rodriguez only needing 10 pitches to go 1-2-3 against the bottom of the Grace Prep lineup. And that's right at Carney on to first in time. Banks Harris is retired. So perhaps finishing his night 0 for 2. A north of 500 hitter on the year. Has reached twice, but he's retired there. Had a hit by pitch and a walk to help get on. And had scored a run tonight. But the sophomore leadoff man goes down on the ground ball, and Rodriguez now facing Blair Walker. Blair Walker, what a day he's had. Great relief appearance for him. Comes in the first, ultimately works 5 2/3.
Good, Ben.
Throwing 106 pitches and just surrendering 3 hits, had 3 walks allowed and 4 strikeouts and allowed 2 runs, both unearned to his credit. And so after only allowing 4 earned in 19 innings of action coming into tonight, he goes 5 2/3 without allowing an earned run. And the second place hitter in the order, haven't mentioned what he's done at the plate as well. After his team was trailing 1-0, he had a 2 RBI triple to give his team a 2-1 lead. In the third inning. Lions go on to score another run in that inning, and they ultimately had a 3-1 lead before the Cardinals tied it at 3-3. And now Blair Walker draws a walk, so he reaches for a second time. But he perhaps had one of the biggest swings of the night. Great job on the mound for him, but also had that 2 RBI triple to give the Lions the lead, and they haven't trailed since he had that 2 RBI go-ahead triple to make it from a 1-0 Cardinals advantage to a 2-1 Cardinals deficit. Cardinals were able to even back up the ball game in the fourth inning, but ever since that swing from now the man on first, Blair Walker in the third, the Cardinals have not led since then. And so he reaches, and couple that with his outing on the hill, he's put together a great effort here at Cat Gordon Field as Bear Graves swings and misses. Ball and 2 strikes. The count with 1 gone. There's Blair Walker getting some hydration. Just getting a drink of water there.
All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
As Ben Rodriguez digs in to face Bear Graves, a check at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count, 1 on, 1 out, and that is ripped right to Griffin Carney, and that'll end the threat. Runner was in motion, didn't matter, and a nice play to end the frame as we get another look. Carney making the catch, making the tag, and the final chance coming up for the Cardinals when we come back in the home half of the 7th inning.
Cardinals, the third baseman, number 7, Jake Parkerson.
So the final shot for the Cardinals as we begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Jake Parkerson to lead things off. And he takes the first for a strike. So the Cardinals have 5, 6, and 7 up in their order, down to their final 3 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Parkerson pops it up right side. Ledniski comes in to make the catch. There's 1 out.
Go, Blaine.
All around tonight, 4 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors for the Lions. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Cardinals and 2 errors. They've produced 3 runs the Cardinals have tonight. All of the RBIs coming from Grady Emerson this evening, the top-ranked high school baseball prospect in the country, who now has his batting average north of 500 on the year. But the Cardinals have Blaine McDonald up at the plate now, down to their final 2 outs after Parkerson flies out to right. And Speck delivers. It's upstairs here to Blaine McDonald. McDonald trying to get aboard. There's a runner on the base paths representing the tying run at the plate right now, and McDonald sprays it foul. A ball and a strike is the count here with 1 out. Another tightly contested contest. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast these two teams played a 2-1 ball game in the postseason last year. The Cardinals picked up that victory. Cardinals out of District 1. Grace Prep out of District 2. This non-district action tonight as it's grounded to short. Harris on to first just in time. And now the Cardinals down to their final opportunity here.
The left fielder, number 25, Jackson Purdue.
So Fort Worth Christian, 18 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie on the year. Down to their final out. It's Jackson Purdue representing the final chance, and he grounds it to second. Jones on it, on to first in time, and Grace Prep picks up a 4-3 victory. Speck comes in, closes down things in relief for the Lions, throwing the final inning and a third after Blair Walker's miraculous 5 2/3 out of the pen, where he goes over 106 pitches. Thanks so much for watching tonight. Tim Polster, our fantastic producer, and our great camera crew as well. My name is Will Connerly. We do say so long from Ketcourton Field from North Richland Hills tonight, but as we go away, we look at some of the highlights from tonight's matchup and also let you know that we will be back in action coming up on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. You can watch a broadcast on Thursday night as the Cardinals host Coram Deo in district action on Thursday night. We'll be live on the air at 6:40, 7 o'clock first pitch. We won't have the broadcast at Coram Deo on Friday in district play because we'll be gearing up to head out to Lubbock, Texas for a couple of games against a team that currently is unbeaten in district play. So the Cardinals falling tonight 4-3, the final score. Couple looks at the highlights. Braylon James ranging out at center. All in all, the Cardinals had a good day at the plate from Grady Emerson. He had 3 hits, but the rest of the team only had 3 in total. And Emerson's 3-for-4 day with 3 RBIs, driving all 3 in for the Cardinals. 2 of them right there on a 2 RBI double that came in the 4th inning to tie the game. But Grace Prep, the next inning, took the lead, a 4-3 lead in the 5th inning on a double from Jay Buchanan, and they held on to it the rest of the way for a 4-3 final score. So that wraps us up. We thank you so much for watching tonight as we send you home with some of the highlights on our Cardinal Baseball Live from Tradio broadcast. We'll talk to you again on Thursday night.
climbing to the top. Ooh. Turn it up a notch. This is our house. Hey, we get that W. What? Get that W.